Shalom and welcome to this week's Hebrew class. I hope that you find it useful. I've tried to make it as easy as possible to follow and given you as much as I can. So I just believe that you will find it useful and try to use the resources. So let us begin with our lesson. And of course, it begins with revealing some resources down here, which will be very useful in your study, and also a chart of the Nikud, which are the valve markings, which for anyone, especially foreigners who are trying to learn the Hebrew, is sort of rather essential. So now we begin, and we are in verse 10, and it's represented by Yod. And we will go through the letters again. Vav, Yod, Ayin, Nun Sofit, which is a nun at the end of a word. Yod, He, Vav, Shin, Ayin, Vav, Yod, Aleph, Mem, Resh, Aleph, Lamed, Yod, He, Lamed, Vav, Yod, Dalet, Ayin, Tav. Just remembering that where we got a valve mark here, we actually don't pronounce the valve, but only the vowel. So we get that in a few cases, like here again. And as we go along, you'll figure it all out. So we read, Vaya'an, and he answered. Now the root of that, of course, is ana, which is a kal verb to answer, to reply, to respond. And then it tells us who, Yahushua. So it means, and he answered Yahusha. Now, I'm giving you three different versions of Yeshua's name because some believe it's like this, some like that, and then others like that, even though Yeshua is actually possibly Aramaic. But that's why I give you all of them, so that everyone sort of can accept it. Vayomer, and he said, Eleha, unto her, Lu, if only. If we look down here, Lu means if only or if, not to be confused with lo, which is a masculine pronoun to him, to it. It's a third person singular masculine. So I'm just giving you that not to be confused. And it means if only, yada'at, yada'at, you did know. Now, interestingly, we know the root is yada, which is a kal verb to know something, to recognize something, right? But I actually gave you at as being a feminine singular pronoun, you. Now, if you remember, the masculine pronoun you is ata with a hey on the end. So we can see now the use of at as being feminine pronoun and ata as a masculine pronoun, both meaning you. So the translation from the previous part that we read last week, the Jews do not mingle with Samaritan. That's what the woman at the well says. Yeshua answered and said to her, if you only knew. So now let us read that. Vaya'an, Yahushua, Vayomer, Eleha, Lu, Yada'at. And he answered Yahusha, and he said unto her, if only you did know. And then part B of that verse, and we have an aleph a tav, a mem a tav, a tav a hey, an aleph lamed, hey yod, mem sofit, vav mem yod, zion hey, hey aleph mem resh, aleph lamed, yod, kaf sofit, kaf at the end of a word. And we read it, et being grammar marker, ma tat. Grammar marker, the gift of. And if we look down here, we've got matat, which is a feminine noun meaning gift or present. And I've actually given you a note that when we read in the Brit Chadashah, Matityahu, it is aka Matthew. In Hebrew it means gift of Yahoo. And then we have Ha Elohim, the Elohim, me, and who, because me is an interrogative or relative pronoun, who. And who, they, this, and I've added this is, Ha-omer, the one saying, because we've got the hey in front of it. So therefore we can say the one saying, Elayik, to you or unto you. So the translation, if you only knew the gift of Elohim and who it is who is saying to you. So now we read that. Et matat ha Elohim u mi ze ha omer elayik. Grammar marker. The gift of the Elohim and who this is, the one saying to you. And 10c, we have a tav, a nun, a yod, a nun, an aleph, lamed, yod, lamed, shin, tav, vav, tav, kaf, yod, ayin, tav, hey, shin, aleph, lamed, tav, mem, nun, vav, te, ni, na. Give, and it could be because it's almost like there's a pronoun on the end. It could be give me, but it could also mean give it, please. Na can be please, it can be now. But in this case, please, li, to me, lish, tot, to drink. Now if we look down here, we've got shata, is a verb to drink. And lish, tot is also, if you look that up, it also means to drink. Key for ata, meaning now. If you look down here, ata as an adjective means now or currently. Sha'al-te. Now, there's a grammar rule here when we have two shavas. The second one is vocal, and that's why it is sha'al-te. It's a very short E sound. You would ask. Again, the tav at the end is you. And I've given you down here, sha'al, as a kal verb to ask the question. The tav is a feminine suffix meaning you. So that could be the feminine form, meaning you, because of course it's talking to the woman. And me, may, nu, from him. Now why is it him? If we look down here, I've given you me, man, nu. The nu ending is singular, because often nu means we or us, but it's singular here for him, as the nun has a dagesh. Something we discovered. Every time there's a dagesh, the dot in the nun, it becomes singular. So just something to remember. And so we read it. Teni na li lish tot ki ata sha'al te mi me nu. And the translation, saying to you, please give me a drink, for then you would have asked him. And the translation, give please to me to drink, for now you would ask from him. And so we come to D now. And we have a vav, nun, tav, nun sofit, lamed, kaf sofit, mem, yod, mem sofit, chet, yod, mem sofit. And it is, ve natan, and he would give. Why is it would give? Because the vav has a shavah. So that means the shavah does not change the tense. So it is, and he would give lak to you, mayim, water, Chayim, living. And I use living because the ending is like a plural form. So we'll just say living water. You would have asked him, and he would have given you living water. That's the translation. And now we can read it again. Vet natan lak mayim chayim. And he would give to you water living. And now we come to 11. It's a yod and an aleph. And then we go through the letters. Vav tav, aleph mem resh, aleph lamed yod vav, hey aleph shin hey, aleph dalet nun yod, kaf lamed yod, aleph yod nun sofit lamed kaf sofit. And we read it. Va to mer. And she said, why is it she? Because if we look down here, the tav prefix is a feminine future tense. And the vav changes the tense to perfect. So then we get, and she said, it's a completed action. Eliav, to him or unto him. Ha-isha, which means the woman. Adoni, my master, with the yod meaning my at the end. Keli, meaning a vessel. If we look down here, keli is a masculine noun meaning utensil, vessel, instrument, implement. And then we have ein leka. Ein meaning not, leka, for you or to you. And so the translation, the woman said to him, my master, you do not have a vessel. So now we can read that. Va to mer, Eliav, ha-isha, Adoni, keli, ein leka. And she said to him, the woman, my master, a vessel not for you. And so we begin. Lamed, shin, aleph, vayet, bayet, vav, vav, hey, bayet, aleph, resh, ayin, mem, kuf, hey, vav, mem, aleph, yod, nun safit, mem, yod, mem safit, chet, yod, mem safit. Lishav, meaning to draw. Bo, in it. And then, so we know that sha'av means to draw. Vaha be'er. Vet meaning and the well. Amuka, amuka. And I've added it is, and the word is deep. If we look down here, we get amak, which is a col verb to be deep. Amok, as an adjective, it means deep. And then we have me'ayin, and from where. I thought this was interesting. We know that ayin, right? It's a masculine noun meaning nothing or naught. And me'ayin as an adjective, adverb, translates from what, from where. And I would think that it also means from naught or from nothing. But they generally translate it and from where. Mayim, the water, or just water. Chayim, living. And the translation is generally given as, you have not a vessel in which to draw it, and the well is deep. So where shall you get living water? And so now we can read it. And it is Lishav Bo Veha Be'er Amuka Umeayin Mayim Chayim, to draw in it, and the well it is deep, and from where the water living. So it's literally just water, but in English it'll be living water. But here we got water living. So we come to 12a, and we have a yod and a vayet, which is 10 and then a 2. And we get Hey Gimel Dalet Vav Lamed, Aleph Tav Hey, Mem Yod Ayin Kuf Vayet, Aleph Vayet Yod Nun Vav, Aleph Shin Resh. And we have Ha Gadol. Now we know what Gadol means. Gadol as negative means big, great, older, important, famous. But the Hey in front of it is a questioning Hey. So we have translated greater. And then Atta, meaning you, which is the same as like saying, are you greater? But in this case, it's greater you. Mi Yaakov, from Yaakov. And translate generally is then Yaakov. Avinu, our Father. You notice the nun has no dagesh in it, and now it's our Father. Because that nu can be used as we or our Father. Asher, who? Because a share can be used in various forms, and here it's used as who. Where shall you get living water? Are you greater than our father Jacob, who? And so let us read that now. Ha Gadol Ata Mi Yaakov Avinu Asher. Are greater you from Yaakov, our father, who? And we have a nun, tav, nun sofit, lamed, nun, vav. Aleph, tav, hey, bayet, aleph, resh. Hey, zion, aleph, tav. Vav, yod, shin, tav. Mem, nun, hey. Hey, vav, aleph. Natan lanu, gave to us. Because we know Natan means to give, right? Gave to us. Et, grammar marker, ha be'er, the well, grammar marker, the well. Ha zot, this. You notice that the aleph is in white, so it's not pronounced. Va yesh te, and he drank. And that has its root from shata, which is a kol verb to drink, to swallow, because it only has the 2 letters, right, where it doesn't have the hey at the end, right? And he drank me na, from it, right? The na is it at the end, the mem is like from it, who, which means he. And the translation, who gave to us this well and drank from it himself. And so we read it. Natan lanu et ha be'er hazot vayesh te mi na, who gave to us, grammar marker, the well, this, and he drank from it, he. And then we have 12c. We have a Vav, Vayet, Nun, Yod, Vav. Vav, He, Bayet, Kuf, Resh, Shin, Lamed, Vav. Uvanayev and his sons. Of course, the Vav at the end is his, and Benai meaning sons. Uhabakar and the cattle. Shelo, belonging to him. Drank himself and his sons and his cattle. So I've given you shell as a prep. It means of or belonging to or for. But I've got a special note here. Both the Hebrew versions that I looked at have for and his cattle in the translation as below. But they use this, uviro. And it seems that uviro, it seems to translate as and in his city, not his cattle, according to the dictionary, and not cattle. If anyone can enlighten me on how they get cattle out of that, it would be interesting. So I changed it to and the cattle belonging to him to make it suit the translation, that's all. So now we can read that. And it is Uvanayev, Uhabakar, Shelo. And of course that means and his sons and the cattle belonging to him. And so we come to 13. It's represented with a Yod value of 10 and a Gimel value of 3. And we go through letters. Vav, Yod, Ayin, Nun, Sofit. Yod, He, Vav, Shin, Ayin. Vav, Yod, Aleph, Mem, Resh. Aleph, Lamed, Yod, He. Kaf, Lamed, He, Shin, Tav, He. And Vaya'an. And he answered. Now, we understand that sometimes letters drop off. And we've got to learn to accept that and understand it. So the root here is ana, which comes from down here. Because the hey is a weak letter, it drops sometimes. So it's a kol verb to answer, to reply. And then we have Yahushua, that's who, or Yahusha. Vayomer, and he said, Eleha, unto her. The hey at the end is feminine. Therefore, it's her. Kol. Now, why is a kol? At least in the modern times, there's no idea. Kol, the kamatz rule is when it is a closed syllable, usually the first. The kamatz is said at a short O sound. Now, that may be more like the modern Hebrew, but rather than kol, it is kol. And then we read, ha-sho-te, all drinking. And the reason it's drinking is that this O sound is like a participle. So all drinking, it's a participle form. So, and I've given you, of course, shata, meaning the kol verb to drink, to swallow again. And the English is, Yeshua answered and said to her, all that drink. So now it is time for us to read it again, without any aids. Va-ya-an, Yahushua, va-yomer, Eleha, kol, ha-shote. And he answered, Yahusha, and he said unto her, all drinking. And 13b, we have a mem, a nun safit, a hey, a mem, a yod, a mem safit. Hey, aleph, lamed, hey, yod, shin, vav, vayet, vav, yod, zade, mem, and aleph. And we read it. Min, meaning from, Ha-mayim, the water. From the water. Ha-ele, these. Ya-shuv, it shall return. Because we know shuv means to return. So it shall return. It shall return. Ve'yitzma, and he shall thirst. Right, so that means the thirst will return. All drinking from these waters shall become thirsty again. Of course, shuv is sometimes translated as again, to return, right? To return or again. So we look down here, we got leshuv, verb to return, to repeat, to come back. Then we have shav, which is a call verb to return, to repeat an action. And then we have zameh, which is a call verb to thirst, and it can mean to yearn for, to desire for, to thirst for something. And then we have zamah, which is a masculine noun which means thirst or yearning. Right, so now we can read without the aids. And it is min ha-mayim ha-ele yashuv ve'yitzma. From the waters these it shall return, and he shall thirst. And so now we return to the revision to just see how we went with our understanding. And we see we got a yod, and we know that has a value of 10 because the 10th letter of the alphabet. So we read it. Vaya'an, and he answered, Yahushua Vayomer, and he said, Eleha, unto her, Lu, if only, Yada'at, you did know. And he answered Yahushua, and he said unto her, if only you did know. Et grammar marker, matat, the gift of ha-Elohim, the Elohim, umi, and who, they, this is, ha-omer, the one speaking, or saying, I should say, Eleik, unto you. Grammar marker, the gift of the Elohim, and who this is, the one saying to you, Tenina, give it, please. Li, to me. Lish, tot, to drink. Ki, for. Ata, now. Sha'al, te, you would ask. Me, may, nu, from him. Give it, please, to me to drink. For now you would ask from him. And we're in 10D. Ve'natan, and he would give, lak, to you, mayim, water, chayim, living. And he would give to you water, living. And we have Yod 10, Aleph 1. So we're in 11. And it is Vatomer. And she said, Elev, unto him, Ha-Isha, the woman, Adoni, my master, Keli, a vessel, Ain, Leka, not for you or to you. And she said to him, the woman, my master, a vessel, not for you. Lish av bo, to draw in it. The ha be'er, and the well. Amuka is deep, or it is deep. U me'ayin, and from where? Mayim, water. Chayim, living. To draw in it, and the well it is deep. And from where? And we've translated the water living, but literally it's water living. And then we have Yod 10 Vet 2. Ha-gadol. A greater ata you, mi Yaakov, from Yaakov, Avinu, our father, Asher, who. So a greater you, with the questioning hey there. From Yaakov, or than Yaakov, our father, who. Natan lanu, gave to us. Et Grimamaka ha be'er, the well, hazot this, vayeshte, and he drank, mimena, from it, who? He. Gave to us, Grimamaka the well, this, and he drank from it, he. Uvanaev, and his sons, Uha-bakar, and the cattle, Shalo, belonging to him. And his sons, and the cattle belonging to him. And then 13, represented with a Yod and a Gimel. Yod 10, Gimel 3. And we have Vaya'an, and he answered, Yahushua, that's who, answered. Vayomer, and he said, Eleha, unto her, Kol, Kamatzru, all ha-shote, the ones drinking. So it's literally all the ones drinking, because it's got a hay in front of it. And he answered Yahusha, and he said unto her, all drinking. It's translated that way because it's participle form, but it would be better to say, all the ones drinking. Men from Ha-mayim, the water, Ha-ele, these, Yashuv, it shall return, Ve-yitz-ma, and he shall thirst. From the waters these, it shall return, and he shall thirst. And then finally, we of course have our vowel marks. So let's just look at the first line. Kamatz, remember the kamatz is a longer A sound. Kamatz, sounds longer. And then we have patak, so we see that the A sound is very short, pa. And zere, a longer E sound. Segol, shorter E sound. Shava, it breaks up the word into its syllables. It can have a short E sound behind it, and it depends whether it's beginning the sound or it's the end, whether it's a closed syllable or an open syllable. And then we have cholam, so you got the O sound there. And then we will turn to the last part, which is the chart. And of course, I've repeated the resources, and I do hope you use them. They're very useful. And we will just look at this line. Zade has a value of 90. Pei, a value of 80. Ayin 70. Samek 60. Nun 50. Mem 40. And as you keep seeing them, and keep identifying the values that the letters have, you will be able to look at a word and determine the numerical value of the word, which is called gematria. So we just hope you are blessed by going through these lessons, and you'll be encouraged to keep at it. And I've tried to make it as user-friendly as possible. And so I just want to bless you by saying Shavua Tov, Alachem, that's a good week unto you all, and may Yeshua, our Master and our King, bring you all his goodness in this week. Amen.